Alright, so welcome to Baldur's Gate 3. A very long anticipated game. For those that don't know, this is obviously the third game in the Baldur's Gate series, but this is one of the biggest titles in the D&D pantheon of video games. And is also, as far as I know, the first one to actually adapt D&D 5e mechanics. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 came out a long time ago, and so it was before 5e was a thing. So that being said, this one kind of uses a lot of new things that the old games didn't, and it's great. I'm going to show those off in a second, but first I wanted to show off the character creator, because I think that is a really cool aspect of this game, and also a very important aspect of, tabletop role-playing RPGs in general. Also, it's worth noting this game is in early access, and there's very long load screens, as well as some graphical glitches and things like that. I'm going to show off a little bit of this opening cutscene because it's beautiful, but I'm not actually starting a new game. I'm going to be skipping some of the early stuff here and get into the actual game, like the character that I created. When did this game come out? Tuesday? I think Tuesday. So that I can show off the actual mechanics and everything. It starts off very exciting, but also kind of like right in the middle of things. You don't really get to understand the party system and all that stuff in this opening section. So I'm skipping it. But the game is beautiful. It definitely it shows off, modern graphics in the D&D setting very well. And weirdly focuses on mind flayers. I'm not super familiar with those from a D&D standpoint, because they're usually pretty high-level things, and I haven't really played a high-level game. But they're gross, and I don't really like these spermy things that they're playing around with. Alright, nope, I can't watch this again. Let's skip. I hate that. I hate eye stuff in general. Okay, so this is the character creator. There are a few pre-made characters, but you can't actually play as them yet. They just join your party over time. So you have to be custom. And this part is essentially the same as, like, if you go through, D&D Beyond or something to build your character. Just a little simplified because it doesn't have everything in it. Like I said, this is still early access. And it's also much more graphical. As you can see, the game's real pretty. So, this weirdly starts with your name and background. I generally start with something like class or race and then build everything around that, because I think from a character standpoint you want to build the mechanics of it and then kind of create your backstory and stuff. I know some people do it differently, but for now I'm going to skip past this and come back to it later. Unlike with my actual character where I forgot to come back to this, so my character is named the default of Tav. Whoops! But like I said, early access, this doesn't have all of the races and everything that are going to be in the game, but it has a good amount. So there's Elf with a few different subraces. Tiefling, which are kind of like demon characters with a few different subraces. Drow, which are like... I think of them kind of like vampires, but I know they're not. They live in the Underdark. They're supposed to be like they're supposed to have issues with light, but I don't think they do that in this game because that would make it really difficult to play if you have like an allergy to light or whatever. And then of course humans, good old humans. In actual D&D, there's a few variants of them. I don't know if we'll get those, but, Old Faithful. Githyanki, I'm also not super familiar with. I also don't know if I'm saying that correctly. They, as far as I know, are a fairly new race. They're kind of cool looking. They're from the astral plane, apparently. It's fitting they're in this game, though, because they are, like, the mortal enemies of the Mind Flayers. And since this game is all about Mind Flayers, totally makes sense. And then, of course, dwarves. Zoom out to show how small they are in comparison. And again, there's a few sub-races here. Half-elf, same sub-races as the elves, except there's also drow. And then cute little halflings with a few sub-races. So obviously you can do male and female characters. I tend to stick to female because I think they're pretty. But it doesn't actually have an effect on your stats or anything. It's just visual. But you will see your character a lot in-game. This is not a first-person RPG like Skyrim or anything. So there's a lot to, look at here. So it's good to spend a lot of time in your character. Another really cool thing about all of this is, let's go with, let's do a dwarf. Why not? I'm not going to actually make this character, so it doesn't really matter, but for the sake of argument, let's do dwarf. But one really cool thing about this is, for example, if you are wanting to just create, a character portrait for an actual tabletop game you've got, you can come in here, go through, just choose the look you want for your character. Let's go kinda... toggle through a few different things, find something that looks good for you. Considering this is still early access, there's actually quite a few customization things here, and I don't know if... Take a drink every time you hear early access, by the way. I don't mean to keep saying it, but I am. I don't know if this is everything, or if there will be more stuff in the full game. I assume there will be, but, it's hard to say. So, let's see. Just kind of go through... just mess with some stuff, and then choose your class, which also is not everything. These are kind of the main 6, the classic 6. I do know a few others are in the game because they're mentioned in text and stuff, like Paladin, Druid, I think Sorcerer is thrown out there too. I'm really excited to get the Druid. I love Druids. I think that'll be a really fun way to play. But, you've got your classics at least. And then, if you choose your class... Let's go... Wizard. Why not? Then you can just basically take a screenshot of this and, use that for your character portrait in D&D Beyond or something. I actually did that for another game where I'm playing an Aasimar Warlock. So I created a human with, white eyes and did the Warlock class. Because, they don't always have their wings out, and Aasimars are pretty human-looking. So, it's not perfect, but for the most part, you can kind of manipulate this and make your own really detailed character portraits, which is super cool. Anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna show this off real quick. Like I said, the classes also have some subclasses, and Wizard doesn't have any subclasses, but when you level it up, you can choose your school. So I imagine a few of these other classes will also get, specializations as you level up. So yeah, I'm not actually going to create this character, but it's a pretty good character builder. Also, when you do a mage class, you choose your active cantrips and spells from the list available. So with wizards, you can learn new spells through gaining spell books and things like that, but you start out with the basics. So you have your available cantrips, which you get more of as you level up, and your full spell list, which is what's in your spell book in this case, and then which ones you've actually prepared from the ones you know. So it's just like D&D. And then it lists what feats you have and things like that between your class. and your race. And then you can also choose the skills that you have proficiency in from the list available. And finally, your ability points, which makes up these abilities over here. It kind of auto-generates based on your race and class, kind of, you know, what is good for those specific things, but you can do basically the point-buy system here. So you can drop one thing down, put it into another one, and materialize it that way, or just use recommended. So it's got some really cool stuff in there, and then you'll want to come back and do your character name and your background, which changes some of those proficiencies that show up. And it also affects how people interact with you and stuff. So I'm going to jump out of here real quick and load up my actual character to show the game in action, because I've spent a lot of time on this character creator. But like I said, it's a big part of the game. Also, a quick note during this loading screen, like, it's very long, and there's a lot of, you know, tips and things like that which are useful, but mostly I love the art that shows up. Like, I don't even really mind that the loading screens are so long, because there's some beautiful stuff to see there. Okay, so speaking of beautiful stuff to see, this is the game, now that it's all loaded. Oof. Did I mention early access? Also, the game is optimized for NVIDIA, and I have an AMD computer, so I think it's probably glitchier and stuff for me than it is for the average person. Or average person that uses NVIDIA, that is. I've noticed a lot of, like, you know, floppy tentacles on the Mind Flayers and things like that. But yeah, so it is a top-down view of you and your party. You can toggle between your party members at any time, whoever you want to be active. So, like, you know, if you're wanting to stealth, you might switch over to your rogue, and then use the hide action to sneak around, and kind of get the drop on people. And then once you've started combat, you can bring the others in.
Shouting up ahead.
Shouting ahead? What is that? I just finished camping, so I don't actually know where I left off. I'm not sure where that shouting is coming from. But yeah, you have a pretty good movement of the camera. It stops at a certain point so that you can't get too far ahead. And you also only have, like, actual detail vision of what's in your sight. So, like, you can kind of see what's around, but you're not going to see, like, enemies or anything. You're just seeing landscape. And I think that's kind of a cool system. It prevents you from, you know, cheating and getting too much of a drop ahead of your players. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go into a little more detail. I'm a little scatterbrained on this because there's a lot to show. But if you go into your actual inventory screen, you can see my character here, who, as I mentioned, is named Tav. I didn't really mean for that, but whatever, it works. I'm probably going to create a new character anyway, because this is kind of a test, just to understand the game, and then I'll optimize for the next one. But yeah, she is a life cleric. Then you can toggle between different characters. So this is my trickery domain cleric, a rogue, and a wizard. So you get a pretty good, which if I'd known that you immediately get cleric, I probably wouldn't have been a cleric. So again, going back to that, I'll probably switch it out. But this gives you just kind of a really good, quick detail of all of your information. So this shows the actions you can use in combat, your other cantrips, and your level 1 spells, which these are the ones that are actually prepared. These are the other ones that she knows. Your spell slots. It's all very nice and visually obvious on here. The map itself is very pretty. There's various things you can find as you wander around. This is a waypoint, so you can actually jump back and forth between different waypoints you've unlocked. A fast travel system, basically. But you have full camera control. You can zoom in somewhat close. And... whoa. And I'm trapped. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Early access. Just gonna keep saying it. So yeah, as you wander the map,
open the bloody gate!
You will find various
Nobody
things
gets in.
to interact with.
Sevlo's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Sevlo, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Not in this game yet.
Please! There's no time!
So I really like how the cutscenes look. They're very cinematic, very dynamic. Even just talking one-on-one with characters. There's a lot of expression. It's very zoomed in. It feels like you're actually, you know, right up there talking to them.
Cannon! No!
Ignore all the texture pop in and stuff. It's... I'm kind of used to it. There's definitely some optimization issues so far.
Form a line!
Okay. So yeah, I didn't expect to randomly drop into combat right now. But sure, let's do it. Why not? Because I just... like I said, while you can look ahead on the map, you're not going to see the actual things that are there. So I apparently just moved my characters over this way and ran into a random event. Which are the kinds of things that happen in D&D, you know? You move along, DM's like, hey, here's a random battle, enjoy. But it's a good chance to show off the battle system, which is one of the coolest parts of this game. So each character moves in turn, which you can kind of see the turn order up here. There's a lot of enemies, jeez. Green are friendlies, red are enemies. I feel like that's pretty obvious. But one interesting element is the verticality of this game. So you have your movement, which it tells you like when you've reached your max. And if you try to go past that, it'll only go to your max. The white line is like as far as you can go in any direction. But when you have the high ground, insert Star Wars meme, you have advantage on your attack. So this does work with traditional, like D&D mechanics where I don't want to do that. Okay, where you essentially roll for attacks and things like that. But this shows things with, let's see, I can't. Boo. I can't... okay, yeah. This shows things in percentages. So instead of just rolling a d20 for every attack or whatever, it gives you essentially a percentage of success. Which factors in a lot of different things, but for the most part, it is your statistics, which would be like your plus to hit and all that kind of, you know, character stuff, versus their AC. So a low percent to hit probably means they either have a high AC, you're out of their range, so you're going out to your second range increment, or which affects your to hit, or you just have a low to hit with that weapon, and you know, those kinds of things. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to try to take him around and up, because there's this guy up here that's going to just ravage people from up high, and I don't like that. I actually don't even know if I can hit this fool. Nope. Alright, I kind of screwed him over. My bad. But what's cool is there's a lot of different other things that you can do, like bonus actions. So at any given time, if there's, let's say, I'll show you later probably, if say there's like fire or blood or like a pool of water or something nearby, you can actually dip your weapon in whatever that is as a bonus action. You can also shove enemies, so like this guy up here, for example, I could push him off this mountain and he would take falling damage. You can hide, which I kind of showed you before, but when you are in combat, it actually does your hide versus their perception to show if you have like stealth advantage, which is great for rogues. So all of those like actual D&D mechanics are built into this battle system. It's just not as chunky as all of the dice and things that you have to juggle, and the character sheet numbers. All of that just plays into the actual game engine. So in this case, since I can't really do anything, I'm going to dip my weapon in poison, which is something I had on my bar here. And that's my bonus action. So yeah, I can't really do anything else, unfortunately. Alright. Much like an actual D&D, I take forever to figure out my turn. So yeah, in his turn, it moves on to the next one on the list. And I will... What are you doing? Really? You're auto-saving, right? Okay, whatever. Autosave, like, kills everything that's happening, which is kind of annoying, actually. Yeah, so I'll move up into range of this fool. This bugbear, apparently. And because I am a magic user, I have a lot more options. So for right now, I'm just going to use Sacred Flame, which gives you kind of a radius of effect. So it doesn't affect everyone in this radius. It can affect anyone in this radius. It's a one-person attack. 55% chance. That's not bad. I want to get this guy, though, because, again, high ground. Alright. So that means it fails. He succeeded at a saving throw, so my attack did nothing. Because, as you can see here, this is a saving throw against dexterity. And since it's a cantrip, it doesn't do any damage if they succeed. Some things will actually give you like half damage. But I will hide. Yeah, and then end my turn. So it kind of sucks. Like, the D&D system basically means that, you can do nothing during your entire turn if you don't play your cards right. But, that's par for the course. Alright. She is also, like I said, a magic user cleric. So I will try basically the same thing again, except I'm going to use Guiding Bolt, because it's a lot stronger, and it's actually a ranged attack. A Goblin Ranger, I'm sure, would have very good dexterity, so I kind of goofed with that. Can I not? Path is interrupted. I don't know if that means this won't work or not. We're gonna find out together. Crap! Alright, I should have heeded that warning. That sucks. Yeah, and then after you use your main attack, which everything dictates whether it's an attack or a bonus attack. So you have kind of your chart down here that shows what you have access to. So I use my action, so it grayed out, but I still have a bonus action. So now everything that's a bonus action is still highlighted. So Healing Word, Potion of Healing. These are always bonus actions. So I'm gonna have her hide too.
Make way for the blade of frontier. There is no escaping the blade.
Alright, and then everyone else will attack in order before it gets back to my people. Great. I don't know why he's in a bush. But that's fine. You come up here with your rogue friend. And then, if I can... Nope, out of range. Well, crap. It has the range on there, but it's kind of hard to know, really, like, until you actually... until you actually evoke it, because... I mean, do you know what 18 meters is just by looking at this? No. No, you don't. It shows all of the actions happening up here, which is really cool. So you can just kind of keep an eye on the enemy attacks really quickly. I like how it speeds through the enemy turns and stuff and gets right back to the action. So you don't have to spend too long waiting. Alright, so my weapon is coated in poison, and I am within range. So let's attack. Crap. And you are right up in my grill. I am not a fan. The problem is, like, me as a person, I don't really like to, you know, quote-unquote waste turns using things that don't do damage. But, like, there's really cool things you can do in this game that, you know, like, set up combos and things like that. So I don't want to just do damage all the time. But also, like, you can get overwhelmed pretty quickly in this game. Let's see. But since this is my cleric, I will try some stuff out. I'm going to try to combo some stuff. Oh. I can't reach that. Well, maybe I can. Actually. Because if I do that right there... Okay, yeah. So... on next turn, I can electrify this water pool and hit both of those guys with AoE electric damage, which is really cool. The options available to you in this game are pretty great. And then another really cool thing to do is this jump or disengage bonus action. Because right now I'm up in this guy's grill, and if I try to move away, he'll get an attack of opportunity. But I can disengage jump as a bonus action and get out of there. Let's see. I'm gonna halt this guy because he's strong and he's up in my ranged fighter. Dang it. See, that's what I hate. Like, when you use a spell slot and it still fails. That makes me mad. That's twice that I wasted her spell slots. And it's my own fault. Like, I'm just mad at the situation, you know? Okay, so in that case, I couldn't hide because I am in clear sight of all of these things. I just wanted to show that. But it still uses your bonus action to try. So you gotta be careful with that kind of thing. Okay, wizard. Do I want to... Let's see... You know, I think that goblin has 10 HP. I think he's gonna be fine by himself. In hindsight, I should have just moved my wizard up here in the first place. What the crap? Camera. And which bolt is not... I don't really have range for that, so I'm just going to use... What? I thought that was... Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. That's a cantrip? Yep. I'm just gonna use this for right now. until I get closer. Ugh. I keep missing. Alright, I'm gonna speed this along a little bit so I can show off some more stuff. Okay, so it always helps to give yourself things against the enemy. Like, you know, this guy is prone, threatened, and in difficult terrain. So you would have advantage thanks to the ice and everything. And that's great. It really gives you a major boost. So I'm actually going to pull out all the stops right now while I have advantage and try to just wreck this fool. Really? I still missed? Are you kidding me? This game sucks. Alright, I'm gonna go loot this guy. Whatever. Ooh, dang. There's some good stuff there. Let's do a smash. Are you kidding me? This is something... Like, each weapon has, like, its own special action, which is kind of neat. That's something that I think this game did specifically. Let's witch bolt this fool. Boosh! Oh, critical hit! That was beautiful. But it did not electrify the water. That was hype, though. So I guess you have to actually hit the water in order to electrify it. You can't hit the enemy. Interesting. See, I'm still learning stuff about this, too. This is very fresh. Oh, yep. Okay, he's up. That sucks. No! Critical hit! Oh, no! You flew too close to the sun, wizard. Crap. Okay, that's only one death saving throw. That's fine. Everything's fine. Like I said, it is very easy to get in over your head in this game. Yeah, you better run. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is swoop up here and try to take this guy's attention, and then bonus action healing word my wizard. That seems like the best course of action right now. No, I need that spell slot. Well, I have two. Okay, yeah, we're gonna... Oof, that's not great, actually. One. Garbage. I should have just healed him twice. Oh well, it's fine. Alright, so yeah. He's back up pretty good, actually. That was a... Jeez, that was a good heal. I don't totally... Like, this spell is supposed to do 1d4 plus 3. That's the second time it's healed, like, 10 plus. I don't totally understand that, but I'm also not complaining. Okay. I'm gonna try to just freeze this blood. Let's see how this works. Great. That's super cool. Okay. I think I might have affected our guy too, but I really like that, like, kind of environmental manipulation. It feels like you actually have battlefield control in that way, you know? Oh, that Matrix dash was great. I don't like how easily he took that out. So this is a very hard combat that I'm not sure I was supposed to get into yet. I know these things happen, but woof, it sucks. Let's actually ranged attack, because I think I have the high ground. Beautiful. And can I jump down? I think he's gonna hurt himself. Yep. Rip. I should have known that was gonna happen, but oh well. I'll heal him later. It's fine. Or I'll heal him now, maybe. That gets everyone. Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Ooh, actually, this could work. So, yeah, use Thunderwave. And then... I like the way it shows the ranges, too, by the way. Like, it does look like it's actually on a grid system, even though you're not seeing the grid. It's really cool. So, yeah, I will Thunderwave this guy and shove him onto the ice. Or not. He still took damage, but that's frustrating. I will get this guy on the ice. Screw you! Yeah! Suck it, guy. Really? At that exact moment, it turns back into water? I hate this game.
That was the last of them. Inside, all of you. More may follow.
Yeah, we won. Finally. That was a very long battle.
Where is the bastard?
Okay. So I'm going to lead all these guys real quick, and then... it'll be a good time to show you what I wanted to show you, because I got real hurt there. Ooh. That's exciting. I got a green thing. Creatures hit by an attack may receive a d4 penalty to attack. That's cool. See, this is a really cool, like, magic system. Because they can, you know, they can make their own weapons and armor and stuff. Alright, so anyway, at any given time, you can actually, like, you know, do what you can do in D&D and take a short rest, and you can also camp and take a long rest, which is what I want to do right now. I know it's, like, probably morning time, but much like actual D&D, you can take a long rest whenever you want. Like, after every combat, for example. So this is kind of what I wanted to show. When you take a long rest, you actually, like, go to camp with your party. And you can see some really fun interactions.
Be with him in a moment.
And talk to people.
Indulging in a spot of vanity. Handsome devil, aren't I? Be that as it may.
Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of? Ah, yes. The good old days. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and graying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on? My point is this. Our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal. I'll toast to that. Pragmatic in me, however, sees only the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
So yeah, this is also a good excuse to show off the very dynamic character conversations and stuff. I like the different choice trees and that kind of thing.
So, not a tentacle to be seen?
Yeah, it also doesn't always sync mouths for some reason, but, you know, early access. Right there.
Naturally. But I was thinking, what if it doesn't? Of course, first sign of change, and I'll have to stop that
This guy's
pretty
teeth
little
is
heart of
terrifying.
yours. I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer. Don't be so pig-headed. I'm being practical. How much damage will you cause if you transform? How much blood can you bear to have on your hands?
Yours to start. I mean, I'm trying to roleplay correctly here. Like, I'm a life cleric. Probably shouldn't be super sassy and talking about killing people with me. So, fine.
A classic. One good thrust to the heart and you're gone. We need a good blade, of course. Don't want to waste time hacking and prodding with a dinner knife. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is all a worst-case scenario, obviously.
He seems very excited.
Oh, my dear. I'd like to see you try. Now, let's get some rest. The sooner we start tomorrow, the better our chances of keeping this hypothetical.
So yeah, there are moments where you'll actually be able to use your different skills and proficiencies and stuff, and in those moments, it actually does like an on-screen die roll to see if you succeed.
I couldn't help but overhear. Well, all right, I could have helped, but didn't. Anyway, I feel the same. Other than the occasional mental exchange, it's almost as if we're not infected. The voice on the ship told me I'd become a beautiful weapon. What do you think it meant?
So all this conversation is about how they had those like things, those little sperm things that I showed you, inside them, and they're trying to get rid of them. But obviously, like when you go to sleep, it's like, hey, it's been another day, and we still haven't been affected. So it's kind of cool dialogue around that.
Agreed. We can't take the lack of symptoms for granted. All right. I've kept you from your blanket long enough. Rest well.
I like her voice. She's neat. Where's my wizard? There he is. I'm trying to see if I can get a conversation that actually has a
How can I help?
dynamic dialogue choice, but
Let's see. I hail from water. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
he has a cat?
Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
There we go. So yeah, it shows you what the DC is. And it shows you what your modifiers are when you roll. And then you get the result, which sucked. Yeah! Success.
For a split second, you see a swirl of untamed magic. Then his defenses drop like a portcullis.
Out! That was uncalled for.
It also shows you up here in the corner, like what your party members think of you. So you could be having a conversation with someone totally unrelated, and someone else overhears, and they disapprove of the thing you said to the other person, which is kind of cool. And like, I think you can probably lose party members because of that.
No. And please, don't try that again unless I invite you to.
All right. Whatever. I like that they have secrets and stuff, but I want to know. Like, that's my problem with D&D, is I want to know all the backstory right away. So yeah, I think we're going to end this here, because it's taken a while to show all of this off, and I don't want this to be super, super long. Like, it's a dense game, so it's going to be a longer video regardless. Like, that just comes with the territory. Whoa. That was goofy. The bed just disappeared. But yeah, I want to try to keep it, somewhat tight at least. But I just love all the little touches in this game, like how it really makes D&D like come to life. Like, the elf character didn't have to sleep all night. He did his meditations. Like, that was really cool. And, you know, all the little touches with the way it does the math on your roll percentages, and like the very nicely detailed character screen. Oh yeah, I need to give this to someone. And like you can actually teach scrolls to wizards, and like all of this stuff is very accurate, and it's just really cool to see. So yeah, this is Baldur's Gate 3. It's super good. I definitely recommend everyone check it out. And it has multiplayer. It has like online co-op that you can do. I've heard it's a little buggy, but if you want to check it out with me and test, that would be awesome. So yeah, that's this. Until next time, have fun and play D&D. It's great. Not enough people play it. That's not true. A lot of people play it, thanks to Critical Role and Adventure Zone and all those other things. I'm gonna stop rambling now.